is just atrocious. If Jaren Jackson's going to sort a double, you might as well just go all the way over there to make sure block Terrence Mann's vision to the weak side of the floor. Desmond Bane would have to immediately rotate down and help the helper. Okay, if a skip pass gets made to the wing, that's where Marcus Smart's got to go, and Jaren Jackson comes up. But Jaren Jackson's not really doubling, and no one's rotating. Going to happen multiple times this game. First of all, it's his guard to guard right here. So I don't know why you're not just switching the first screen. John Morant comes out to hedge. Okay, you got to get all the way up there. You can't let James Harden turn the corner. And Marcus Smart's going to have to get over the top of the screen. And Desmond Bane would then, I guess, have to be in backside help on Amir Coffey. That's how you hedge a screen. John Morant lets James Harden turn the corner. Marcus Smart isn't getting over the top of the screen. So now Zubac doesn't even have to set the second screen. He can just slip it, and that's a disaster. Yes, there should be help on the ball here, but help doesn't matter when Desmond Bane can't stay in front of James Harden because all he's doing is gambling here. Gambling. Doesn't matter. James is a straight line drive. Look at this garbage Grizzlies pick and roll defense. An NBA coaching staff, shouldn't be in the NBA, Taylor Jenkins is terrible, is going to want this to happen. Why is Vince Williams not icing this screen right here? There's no place for Zubac to roll when you ice it. Jaren Jackson's standing and waiting. You keep James Harden towards the sidelines. How is your ball screen defense to have James Harden be wide open? How? What is going... Wow. What is Santi Aldama doing here? Jaren Jackson's going to be in help on the ball right here. Why is he not in the weak side corner? Why are you in the paint? Jaren Jackson's helping on the ball. Why... Is this real? Why did that just happen? Here's this thing again. Santi Aldama's going to kind of double. Don't just kind of double. Go double and get the dribble picked up. Whatever Santi Aldama's doing here, you have to rotate. Vince Williams got to rotate to Kobe Brown. And then everybody else would have to rotate then from there. But Santi Aldama's sort of doubling, and no one's even sort of rotating. Open three. Santi Aldama's playing the gaps here. Well, your feet have got to be set, and you got to be in a defensive stance. None of that is happening. Santi Aldama's feet are moving towards the ball as this pass gets kicked out. Now it's just an easy pump fake and go drive. This is every reason why you hedge. You're cutting James Harden's dribble off at the point of the screen. The second he has to pull his dribble back, Desmond Bane's in backside out. But the second he pulls his dribble back, Xavier Tillman can recover and push Desmond Bane back. Instead, you run drop coverage. So James Harden's dribble's alive for forever. So now these backside defenders have to stay in backside help for forever. It's the next possession. It's the same exact thing. Cut James Harden's dribble off at the point of the screen. Push him out. This, again, John Morant's in backside help, but he's not going to have to be there long. The second James Harden hesitates or pulls his dribble back, Xavier Tillman's recovering and pushing John Morant back. But you run drop coverage here. So now again, Santi Aldama's got to be in backside help for an hour. And James Harden's in the lane. So you have to do something about this down screen here. I would just switch it. Zaire Williams, Desmond Bane. Just switch it. You do nothing. So Zaire Williams getting screened. So how are you going to guard this handoff right here? Zaire Williams still trying to get over the down screen. So Daniel Tice doesn't have to set the screen. You can just slip it. I don't know why you'd want to switch this handoff. Just easily, Xavier Tillman's giving John Morant space. Just meet Norman Powell on the other side. But if you're switching this handoff, you went into the game knowing every time Xavier Tillman and John Morant involved in a handoff, we are switching. Because look what happens. All right? Xavier Tillman's communicating a switch at the last minute, which means John Morant's not going to be ready to switch. The same thing. Man, is Taylor Jenkins a disaster as a basketball coach. This whole Grizzlies coaching staff's a disgrace. It's another down screen. It's David Roddy and John Morant. I would just switch it. What do the Grizzlies do? Nothing. They do nothing. So David Roddy's still fighting over the top of this screen. So on this handoff, Zubac doesn't even have to worry about screening you. He can just slip it and go right to the rim. You get cross-matched in transition all the time. Jaren Jackson's going to have to be the one to take the ball here because you know Desmond Bane's behind the ball. So now you're going to come take Zubac. Happens all the time in transition. Guess what happens? Desmond Bane's trying to guard the ball from behind the play. Grizzlies are so poorly coached. It's insane. If you're Vince Williams right here, first of all, you want to play up on Russell Westbrook, of course, because now you have help in the middle of the floor. Xavier Tillman can actually help and recover, okay? And Desmond Bane needs to stay home in the corner anyways. I don't know what's going on here. So Vince Williams just keeps backpedaling when you have help clearly in the middle of the floor. So now, for whatever reason, Desmond Bane's just standing in the paint, ignoring Terrence Mann like this wouldn't happen. Xavier Tillman's late getting over to Paul George in transition here. So certainly Xavier Tillman would need to force Paul George to where he has help right there with Jaren Jackson. Now, Jaren Jackson is communicating he's in help. But why is Xavier? Look at Xavier Tillman. What are you not going to do? Force him to where you have help. So now you're letting Paul George get in the lane because you're off balance, obviously. And now that's drawing help at the rim, and no one's there to box out Zubac. It's just effort in transition. The Grizzlies are going to turn it over right here. Could Jaren Jackson Jr. and Desmond Bane try to get back? Look at this effort here. I mean, are you serious with this? Wow. So Desmond Bane's late to get out to James Harden. If you're Jaren Jackson Jr., up the line. You're still in help, but now I can recover. Look at Jaren Jackson Jr. right here. Up the line. You're just standing in the paint. So, not going to be able to recover. Not how you defend away from the ball, but of course the Grizzlies are poorly coached, so this is how they defend away from the ball. Santi Aldama should be underneath the three-point line with his back to the baseline, seeing ball and man. You're not coming out with your back to the sideline right here. I mean, you're just please beat me backdoor is what you're saying. In transition, this shot goes up. You're David Roddy. You're not going for the offensive rebound, so start to get back. Start to sprint back. You stand and watch. So now this is a 2-on-1. You're Vince Williams, so you don't respect Russell Westbrook's shot. I still got to close out strong. Jaren Jackson should be in the gaps here, okay? David Roddy's going to be in the gaps heavily. So playing off Russell Westbrook just gives him ability to get downhill. I don't know where Jaren Jackson is. At least David Roddy's there, so I can force him into help on the strong side of the floor. But you just backpedal. So Russell Westbrook's in the paint. David Roddy's fronting the post right here. If you're fronting the post, you have to have backside help. The pass over the top can't get made. Okay, so Jaren Jackson Jr.'s got to get over there now. If you allow this pass to Zubac to get made, and you're late getting there, now you got numbers. Now someone's scoring here. What is going on? There's 1.1 seconds left in the quarter. No, David Roddy, you get your back to the baseline, and Jaren Jackson, guard Russell Westbrook. So David Roddy's got his back to the other side of the floor. Obviously, Paul George is going to come off a screen here. David Roddy's going to have no chance of getting over. You give up a three for no reason. You do not guard with your back to the ball ever if you're Vince Williams. I'm always seeing ball and man. Vince Williams ignoring what's going on with the ball. So if you knew what was going on with the ball, Xavier Tillman is going to help at the rim. So I would now need to rotate and help the helper. Well, you're just finding out about that information now. The skip pass gets made. Marcus Smart will rotate to the corner. Ja Morant to the wing. David Roddy back up. But what's the point? It's going to happen multiple times in the fourth quarter. The Grizzlies are trapping. Jaren Jackson Jr. can't be halfway up to Daniel Tice. I can't let that pass get made. All right? And then Aldama's got to get up to Norman Powell right here. You leave Russell Westbrook, who's 2 passes away. Once this pass to Tice gets made, bang. Now the Clippers have a 3-on-2. So someone's going to be wide open here. Westbrook, Norman Powell. Paul George is catching this on the block with a size advantage on Desmond Bane. Serious size advantage. Santi Aldama is again half doubling. Just double. Get the ball out of Paul George's hands. Vince Williams this time is awake and helping the helper. So David Roddy, if a skip pass gets made to the corner, these are your rotations right here. They're not hard. But Santi Aldama is sort of doubling. So not only Amir Coffey's still wide open in the corner, and Paul George now can just shoot over. The same thing. What a poorly coached team. The Grizzlies are trapping. So you got to rotate to Zubac. You're going to leave Amir Coffey in the corner. You trap and don't rotate to one pass away. So there's no point in trapping. And once Zubac touches this, everyone's open. Again with Jaren Jackson. Get up the line. Up the line. This dribble's got to get picked up at the top of the key. You're backpedaling, and now you're helping at the rim. So now you got to leave to contest, and no one's boxing out Zubac. No, Vince Williams has got to get low and battle and get Paul George to catch this as far out as possible. You're trying to 3/4 the post here, and now Paul George is catching this ball a lot deeper than he should be. Okay? So Jaren Jackson, though, is going to kind of sort of double here. Stop sort of doubling. Just go double. And Vince Williams, you have help. Get up. You let Paul George catch this ball deeper than he should. But now I can't give up space. I'm up guarding. But again, Jaren Jackson is kind of doubling. Vince Williams is giving Paul George space, so this couldn't be easier. Your Ja Morant right here, there's no reason you should be getting cooked by Norman Powell. Could you just show your hands, slide your feet, get in a defensive stance? You're coming uphill to guard at half court for no reason. So you're coming uphill, Norman Powell's going to go downhill, and you're playing off your front foot.